Hi everyone, today for my birthday I've come to Rutland Falconry Park because my wonderful mother bought me an owl and hawk experience for 2 hours where you learn how to fly and care for an owl, possibly feed it and learn about it. So these amazing forests that are here, I will be venturing upon them. There's actually some wolf-like dogs over there as well that I hope to film in a moment, but just in case I can film, I'm not entirely sure whether I can. I won't be surprised if I can't because it might scare the birds and things, but if I can, then I'm doing this little intro just so that it'll give a little introduction into it. So yes, the Rutland Falconry and Owl Centre, I will be venturing you shortly. Did you just hear that? That was the wolves. Let me just go and see if I can go and look at them actually, because they're just over here. There they are. Hello boys! How's it going? Hi! Hi! Hello, look at you! Hi! Anyway, yes, I'll be venturing inside shortly, so beautiful doggies. So more in a mo! See you later, you guys! Ooh. This owl's actually called Peggy Mitchell. Kind of resembles her, I guess. Did I wake you up? This is Bandit. Just had an excellent experience with this guy. Look at those talons. Just chilling. Because believe it or not, an owl is quite heavy. Hi everyone. I just want to do a quick conclusion to today, since obviously I wasn't able to have my camera on hand for most of it. I absolutely adored today. It was mind-blowing, just because of how much I experienced with owls and hawks, and the fantastic handler that I had to show me it all. As you saw from video, Bandit was the owl that I handled. We went for a walk together with him on my hand. It was at least an hour that I spent with him walking through the amazing forest of Rutland, at which point there was actually some beautiful fallow deer that came through, which were wild, but they were almost black. It was quite amazing. Very picturesque. It was like the most perfect weather today as well. I didn't expect it to be, since it had rained most of the week, but I was very lucky. So we went and sat with Bandit in a field, and the handler told me a lot more about the type of owl. And walked back to the actual owl sanctuary, at which point just chilled out for a bit more and took some photographs. He was very much of a poser as well. Apparently he's the most laid-back owl that they have. So they put him back after that and went for hawk training after that, learning how to fly a Harris hawk, which was again amazing, because not only did I get to fly the hawk, he put little dead chick legs on my hand and held it up, and the hawk came and fetched that from me, but then he told me to stand in front of him and stand perfectly still, at which point he called the hawk and she flew over my head, and the wings just brushed my cheek and the tail went over my head. It was just fantastic, and the fact that something so powerful and perfectly built for flight was able to not harm me whatsoever, just flew over me just like air. Did that a couple of times, and this was a chick that he'd raised as well. She was only a couple of months old, but you know, most of the owls were either hand reared by him, so he had a deep bond with most of them. This hawk as well, he's actually doing a wedding with in a couple of weeks, where the hawk herself is actually having the wedding rings attached to her, and starting from one end of the church and flying to the bride and groom to deliver the rings, which that's a wedding I want to get invited to. Yeah, after that, it was like, so today's your birthday, right? I was like, yes it is. Why do you ask? And he was like, well, I'm just going to show you something around the back here that I don't usually show to a lot of people. And I was like, oh, what's back here? More owls? And he was like, oh, no, just follow me. So he goes to this paddock gate and starts unlocking it. I'm like, what, the gun there? King Kong, you know? And they actually had some signs up, and I was like, huh? And it said there was Amur leopards in there. I was like, what? They've got big cats here. So he took me through, and they had at least 10 different paddocks with full-grown Amur leopards and Persian leopards. That was the other type. And as he walked up to them, they just treated him like, you know, as though he was dad or something, because he either raised them or whatever, rescued them from other places. And one of them was called Manx because he had no tail, which I thought was amazing, because leopards use their tail for balance, but this guy was just so huge but had a little nubbin little tail on the end. And apparently he'd rescued him from a zoo because the zoo were going to put him down because he had no tail. That makes no sense to me, especially if he's perfectly healthy. So he'd fought for a while to actually get him in his care and look after him. So that was just fantastic. We were walking around there for these half an hour, introducing me to all of them, and one took a liking to me, and it's just like we were like this close away from each other, like with just chicken wire in between. And it's just when they're so tall, like a regular house cat, but you know, just giant, like, you know, with this amazing hypnotic fur that just, oh, they're just beautiful. And at the end, like, I'm just completely bowled over at this point. I'm just like, I can't take any more awesome. So he's like, well, I hope you really enjoyed yourself, and shook my hand, and he goes, so you collect feathers, do you? I'd said earlier on that I collect feathers. And he came back and gave me a fantastic feather, which I'm not sure whether it's owl or hawk. I think it's hawk, but if anybody watching this can actually tell me what type it is, that'd be very helpful. But it's just perfect. I mean, I was kind of looking on the ground to see if I could find any feathers, but there was none there, so I got this one, which is like perfect. So thanks so much to the fantastic owl handler. He was brilliant. I just couldn't fault the experience. So if anybody wants to go, I'll put a little link below to the Rutland Owl and Falconry Centre and how to get there, and I would completely recommend it for a day out. For just, if you love birds, just go, because it's just completely mind blown right now. It was fantastic. So I have to say a huge thanks to my ma, because she booked it all and she knows me way too well knowing owls. So thank you so much, ma, really appreciate it. So bye for now, everybody.